Welcome to Module 2.3, Creating and Rendering Components. In React, components are the building blocks of your user interface. To create and render components effectively, you'll need to understand how to define them and incorporate them into your application. This section covers the process of creating and rendering React components. 1. Creating functional components. Functional components are the simplest type of React components. They are JavaScript functions that return JSX, describing what the GUI should look like. Here's how you create a functional component. Function myComponent. Return div. This is a functional component. Div functional component anatomy. The component is defined as a JavaScript function. It returns JSX content to render. 2. Creating class components. Class components are another type of React component. They are defined as JavaScript classes that extend the React component class. Class components have more features, including state management and lifecycle methods. Here's how you create a class component. Class myClassComponent extends React component render. Return div. This is a class component. Div class component anatomy. The component is defined as a class that extends React component. It includes a render method that returns JSX content. 3. Rendering components. Once you've created your components, you need to render them within your application. You typically do this within your root component, such as app.js. Here's how you render components. React DOM.render myComponent greater than document.getElement by ID root. React DOM render is used to render a component into the DOM. myComponent specifies which component to render. Document getElement by root is the DOM element where the component will be inserted. 4. Nesting components. In React, you can nest components within other components. This allows you to create complex GUI structures by composing smaller, reusable components. For example, you can nest components like this: function app, return, div, header, main content, footer, div. In this example, header, main content, and footer are components nested within the app component. 5. Passing data to components props. To make components dynamic and adaptable, you can pass data to them through props, short for properties. Props are like function arguments for components. Here's how you pass data to a component. Welcome name equals John greater than. In this example, we're passing the name prop with the value John to the welcome component. Within the welcome component, you can access the name prop like this: function welcome props. Return h1 hello, props.name, h1. The props argument is an object that holds the data passed to the component. 6. Component composition and reusability. One of the key advantages of React is the ability to create reusable components. You can use the same component in multiple parts of your application or even in different projects. This promotes consistency and maintainability in your GUI. Understanding how to create, render, and nest components, along with passing data through props, is fundamental to building dynamic and modular user interfaces in React. Components are the building blocks of your application, and mastering these concepts is essential for React development.